going. We're live, George.
Cool. Cheers. Good evening, everyone. Hope we're doing well on this Monday evening. We're coming live to you from the Arsenal Women Chat Show, the Highbury Fans Forever, and the Mr. Arsenal Podcast channel. So please subscribe to all of them and follow the content that they do. It's a bit of a different crowd tonight. I'm not going to lie. I know what it feels like to be like Mikel Arteta with loads of injuries. Like we've had 4 injuries today. 4. So we've got someone new on the show. That's how desperate we are. We've had to go there. So I just want to welcome Austin to the show. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm not new. I've been on one of your shows before, months and months ago. But
yeah. We've been up,
it's a new format.
Yeah, updated since then, mate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that intro, that's the bollocks. I like that.
And there's your watershed moment gone. There's not even 7 o'clock yet. So, it's just gone 7. So there you go. But yeah, hope you're doing good. Ravi, how you doing, mate? My hero for tonight's show.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Having all kinds of technical issues. My PC's dead, so like it's been a scramble to get here on time on my work laptop, where everything's been reset on my StreamYard account and everything. So yeah, all fun.
Yeah, we had people on standby like having to like get you in a helicopter to somewhere with Wi-Fi. That's how bad it was. But good to have you here, Paul. Good to see you the other day. And how you doing?
Yep, not bad. Yeah, good to catch up with everyone after that break that seemed to last for months since the other side of Christmas.
Cool. And yeah, we Laura is doing her magic stuff behind the silver screen, as they say. She's not fully fit today, so hope you get better soon, mate. So yeah, Paul, if I have any comments, can you just read them out, please? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Have we got any yet?
We've got a couple. We got Catherine that says hello.
Oh, Catherine.
Mr. Wells has got his popcorn ready and ready to have a rant. And the other Mr. Wells as well says hello.
That's all. Hey Darren, hey Chris, good to have you here as well. Don't drop that popcorn, especially if you snuggled it into the Emirates. Cool. Let's get talking about what we're all here for. And has everyone watched Stranger Things? No, I'm joking.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm on episode 1, season 1, so don't spoil it. I've not started it yet. I'll start with you, Ravi. Obviously, going into the Man United game, it was quite a big game because I didn't realise it until like I was at the ground how horrible our fixtures are in the league. So obviously going into that Man United game, we saw the lineup. I'm going to try and remember this, but if I get it wrong, please someone correct me. So we had Borba in goal, Fox, Leah, Catley, McCabe, Little, Mariona. There's one of the issues already. Frida, Beth, Smith, and Russo. What was your thought looking at that lineup, Ravi? My issue was I thought Rene could have gone a bit more expansive and actually played Mariona in the 10 and Palova at the 8. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to what we spoke about last week on the preview, where I said I thought Man U were going to come in like they did last year and just sit back, defend, try and hold out for a 0-0 or even sneak a goal. So I was quite surprised with the midfield trio, including Frida. I think she's great at being like that industrious attacking midfielder, sort of like supporting up front, almost like a second striker. But when a team has come in to play for a 0-0, I don't think she has the technical ability to actually unlock a defense. And ironically, the 2 players behind her would have done a better job at that. So that's the thing that confused me the most. Of just like, I probably would have played Palova, like you said, or maybe just allowed Mariona and Little to just go a little bit further forward. just to try and unlock that like deep block.
Yeah. Cool. Just on the, we'll talk about it while we're on it. The Mario / Frida having that sort of it may have worked, I think, in the Champions League, doesn't it? But I can't remember the last time it worked in the WSL. Like Frida's performances, it was just another one, Ravi, wasn't it, where it just flattered to deceive.
Yeah, and I think that's where you sort of see the difference, especially in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, where Frida has played really, really well. Teams are a bit more expansive. There is a little bit more space for her to like run into and like just get in between lines. When she can't do that against a deep block, I just think you need to change the system. And I think, you know, we saw with Mariona, like when she went forwards in this game, it was the most productivity we had like at all. Like we weren't getting anywhere down the wings. And I think both wingers had a bit of a tough time out there. But you know, like we needed someone to unlock that defense. And yeah, I don't think Mariona can do it from that deep. I don't think many players can, really.
So, welcome to the show, Dorian. Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
I did see that when I was like
well.
halfway through talking,
Yeah.
and I just lost my train of thought completely. I was trying not to laugh.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, you've got a massive point. So I don't know what's happening in 2026. He's agreeing with me. I'm agreeing with him. It's all gone wrong, mate.
Yeah.
I think what my issue, like, sort of my issue, like, I think Renee probably knows a lot more about football than I do, but the Vicky Pelova situation, Paul, is a really interesting one because she is one of those players whose contract is up for renewal in the summer. But if we're honest, she's not really getting that much opportunity. But even when she is, she's not really done much to impress either. So where do you think we stand with this Pelova situation? Do you think she should have started?
Yeah, it's a difficult one with her. Obviously, like you say, her contract's coming up. I personally would have started her and moved Mariona into the 10 role for this game. And you know, Pelova hasn't performed as she did, you know, a couple of seasons ago, but then she hasn't been given the game time to be able to get into that position. You know, she's been getting a few minutes here and a few minutes there, mostly towards the end of games.
Yeah.
So if she needs to prove a point that she wants a contract, she needs to play. If the club want her to sign a new contract, then they need to play her, and they're not playing her. So is there something going on behind the scenes where Renee's already made that decision that they're not going to offer her the contract? And, you know, so she's just sort of a bit part player for the rest of this season. But, you know, remember she's coming back from this ACL, and, you know, you've got players like Beth who, yes, she came back from it, but then she took another year before she got back to being back to pretty much her best. So Pelova hasn't had anywhere near amount of game time that Beth had when she was coming back into fitness. So it's going to take her longer to get back to where she was. But the only way she can do that is to be playing the games.
Yeah.
So she's really caught in the middle.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for me because, like we say, like I know Catherine said it in the chat, like Mariona's stats for the game on Saturday were probably quite good. But defensively, yes, actually she's done all right. But you lose such a weapon in that number 10 role, in the creativity role, when you don't have Mariona playing there. And I just think if you've got the opportunity to just let Mariona play Mariona's game, then you've got to do that. Like, I think Tim Stillman said somewhere, I'm sure I read it somewhere, that the players, the players who are going to be, the players have been contacted already of who's going to be renewed and who isn't. So I just wonder if that's something that with some of the players as well. I'm not saying Pelova when she plays is thrown down tools. I just mean maybe I don't know. It's a really weird one to actually know what's going on there because, like has been said, Paul as well. We've been saying it for how long that the Kim Mario thing doesn't work in the WSL.
Yeah,
It's
and
not. It's not a
that's another
new
thing.
topic, is it?
That doesn't seem to work. And of course, with the contracts coming up, there's still the question over how much longer have we got Kim Little. You know, that's
10 more years, mate.
well, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. The way the form she's on at the moment, then I don't doubt it. But
It's like
you know,
Austin Powers. We've got a freezer like Doctor Evil. And that.
yeah, there is going to be a time when she's not going to be there. So we definitely need to start planning for that now when it comes to either contract renewals or bringing in other players.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on. Is there any comments, Paul, before I move on to
There's
Austin?
loads. Yeah, where are we? Obviously,
Take your
Dorian.
time, Paul. Take your
Yeah,
time.
Dorian's made a comment about Frida that we
Yeah.
all saw. Yeah, stats for Mariona: 6 tackles, most successful dribbles, most completed passes, 90 on there.
Don't matter if you complete a pass if there's no one there to set anything up, does it?
That's it. Yeah. Palova isn't getting the time to show what she can do. Maybe Rene just doesn't rate her in her style that she wants to implement. As it Darren says, we all keep saying Mariona is played out of position. Why does Rene not? Why does Rene persevere with this? Is she just stubborn?
I don't know. I'll ask her, mate.
Yeah, have a word.
I don't know. But to be honest, is it she don't trust her? I don't know. When Kyra's not available, she always seems to go back to the Kim and Mario thing. It's like we've tried it with Kim and Vicky P and Mario, and we've not tried it that much. So I don't know. It could be down to trust. There's got to be a reason they're looking at Georgia Samway. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've got Ryan as well. So hey, Ryan, hope you're okay. Austin, I'll come to you. Obviously, I know you're quite new to the women's game. So
I've got my
What
notes.
what was your analysis on minute 1 to 90 minutes with in-depth squad analysis, please?
In-depth squad analysis.
No,
Do you know what?
I'm
Do
joking.
you know what?
I'm
Right,
joking.
I actually bring some good news. Right, I fooled
What?
you all. I've got my notes here on the right-hand side of my screen.
Yeah, Chat
Right.
GPT really works now, doesn't it?
No, written by me. Some of it.
But yeah, anyway, but when you obviously going into the game, you was at the game. How was you feeling going into the game? Was you confident, nervous? How was you feeling?
So the thing is, before the game, with me, and you'll know me, George, I'm always confident
I
going
should
into
do.
a
You're my
game.
brother.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I'm always confident going into a game because in my mind, I feel like we can win everything. Like, and yeah, there was nerves there because you do look at previous games and everyone knows that, Man United, they're not exactly easy. But the thing is, when it gets into, when we're there sitting watching the game and then they go down to 10 women, and the fact that, they still couldn't break the deadlock there with the fact that they went down to 10, it just missed that opportunity to get 3 points, like you all said about each player you was talking about, it's there wasn't a lot of I felt like there wasn't a lot of fire, there weren't a lot of oomph with it, you gotta fight for these things,
Yeah. No, I agree. I've seen Arsenal play too much, mate, to know that they can win everything, but also lose as well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Don't worry, Catherine. Caitlin Ford is getting a bit of a mention in a little while. Do not worry about that. Yeah, obviously we saw the lineup, mate. Obviously, there was obviously we had no Kyra, which was obvious with obviously the tragic stuff what she's going through. And no, I didn't clap for 32 minutes straight. No, I done 32 seconds, not 32 minutes. But yeah, well, I'll come to you actually. Obviously, Russo was up front through the middle.
Mm.
She, I've seen a bit of criticism for her. I didn't think she actually played that. Or I didn't think she played all that, to be honest. I think if you're going to criticise players, you have to criticise your fan favourites as well.
Mhm.
Why do you think she keeps going back into the midfield? Do you think that's how the midfield set out, or do you think she just wants to be on the ball a bit more and try and create as well?
So the thing is, and I like Russo. If I was to pick one player that I was like a big fan of, it'd be Russo. Like Russo or Smith. But anyway, onto the Russo thing. Going back into the midfield, like you said, I feel like it is a way of her just trying to get to the ball more and create those chances, because we see it at times where if the midfield are not creating any chances, or they're lacking that creation, then Russo's going to come back and try to do it herself.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of being a team. Do you know what I mean? You have to, sometimes you might have to come out of your position to give that helping hand and create a chance that could possibly win you the game.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Ravi, I'll come to you. Have I spoke about any of the points that you wanted to speak about yet?
Well, I mean, I think everyone's got pretty similar points about this game. But I think I just want to focus on the just seeming lack of urgency that we had in this game. Like it felt really weird to me that this was a real opportunity to cement ourselves as third place. And that's not where we want to be. We want to be first. It's looking very unlikely being 10 points behind Man City now. It's looking very unlikely being, 6 points behind Chelsea at this, or 4 points behind Chelsea, I think now. We had a good opportunity to get some distance between us and United and us and Tottenham, because worst case scenario, even worse than us getting Champions League is if them lot get Champions League, which God forbid doesn't happen.
Embarrassing.
So we had a real opportunity today, and what was it? The red card for them came in the 65th minute. Is that right?
Yeah.
Around
that time. Yeah.
Around that time, yeah. So we had just under half an hour to really put them under the cosh, and there wasn't any urgency to do that. It was almost like we were playing for the draw, and fine, they were time wasting a lot, but we should have taken that initiative and been like, hold on, if they're time wasting this much, they're so scared to lose, we need to actually really press forward for this.
Yeah, I think in the second half, after the red card, we kind of, it felt like we were trying to push forward, but we had some chances. But I just go back to what I've said before, Ravi. The lack of creativity and the lack of us being clinical is criminal for me. In the WSL, that is not defendable. It's not. I'll go to her. We brought, you look at the bench and you think, oh yeah, we're going to bring some players on to help us change the game. Who do we bring on? I'll talk about a positive. Smilla Holmenberg. If I've probably butchered that, but sorry, I'm not Swedish. Yeah. I thought she was really, really positive, and to be honest, I thought she was really, really good at her age and making her debut against Man United in a big stadium. Obviously, Man United don't know what that's like because they play in Wigan, but I thought she done really, really well. And then you go to the complete opposite. We brought on Stina Blackstenius, who she's only really good when it comes into a specific game for me. And that Darren's probably throwing stuff across the room now, but
Darren's having a hissy fit now.
But that game was set up for Stina, for someone to feed her to get that goal, and then we win the game. It didn't happen. But the one I do have a problem with is a certain Caitlin Ford. It is absolute. Now you're getting a rant. You'll probably see this on TikTok later.
George's rant.
Yeah, we've got Caitlin Ford, who's a winger that plays for Australia international team and plays for the Champions of Europe, who's a winger. And let me just remind people who are wingers are meant to be involved in goal involvement. Caitlin Ford has had one goal involvement this season, and that was a deflected shot. That is absolutely criminal for me. It is pointless. If someone's looking there already to say I'm out of it, it is Caitlin Ford. Like, because she just I just don't see what she offers.
Yeah,
That might be a bit harsh, but
I think it's really weird that there's been such a big drop off with Caitlin. I think she's been maybe to a point like she's been unlucky with some of her dribbling not going her way. I think more than anything else, defenders have figured out how to defend against her. And she doesn't have a plan B. It's always the sort of like twist turn, and then go on the outside. I just think fullbacks have figured it out, and she's finding it really difficult to adapt to it. And yeah, she's not had a good season, and it's just it just feels something feels very off about it. Maybe switch it to the other wing when she's not having a good time, or just like try and do something that can like help her out. But like, it's just whatever she's doing, it's not working.
Chloe Kelly's had one leg and done more. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? No, I don't know.
But then to a point, how like could you go with Russo being more of a false nine, and then having Mead and Blackstenius on the wings to really put some like direct pace like in behind? Maybe you could do that. Would
it's
Stina
worth trying something different, isn't
it's
it?
worth trying something different. But then,
Mm.
if you look at the substitutions that we made, it's all like for like changes. It's a winger for a winger. It's an attacking midfielder for a striker. Like every single game at the hour mark, we see Marnham coming off for Blackstenius and Russo goes into the 10. Every single game. It's predictable. You know exactly like I'm on the polar opposite side to the bench. I know who, like, before the ball even goes off, I know who's coming off the bench. I know who's coming like off the pitch. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, sometimes my sisters go to me like when I'm watching the game with them, and then how can you see from over there that it like from all the way across the other side of the pitch that it's Blackstenius coming on? I was like, because it happens every single game. It's like it's a 65th minute. Blackstenius is going to come on. It's going to be Marnham that goes off. It's going to be Russo that drops into the 10. It's like we're just getting predictable. It's like for like changes, and there's nothing different that's happening to that create a little bit more urgency. I think the most urgent thing that happened in it was Wubben coming in with like 5 minutes to go and almost playing up front.
Yeah. I thought, it's like going back to the Ford thing. I think it's absolutely bang on, Ravi, where you said the drop off is massive. It's Kilimanjaro football. It's that big. It's like it's absolutely ridiculous from what she's done from last season. She was winning the Ballon d'Or last season, according to me. Like, and now she's lucky if she can unlock a front door, like what Dorian says about Frida. Like, it is awful. Like, I know Darren said, oh, if Ford goes, McCabe might as well. Yeah, shit happens, doesn't it?
Cheerio.
I'm not going to lose too much sleep, but I don't even think she was actually that bad on Saturday. McCabe.
No, I thought she had a good game.
Yeah, so I'll give credit when I have to. So, but I thought McCabe actually done well. But Ford, mate, like you've got to at least be offering something. Like it's same, and I think, like you say, it is predictable football. Why not mix it up? Why not? Obviously, we know that I think we've seen Russo and Stina play up front in the front two, and it's probably something we don't really want to see again.
I mean,
but you could mix it up. I just don't. Like Beth Mead used to play as a centre forward, didn't she? I'm sure she did.
For a little bit, yeah. But I think also just looking at the team sheet in front of me, right? The only forward we had on the bench was Ford. It's the
Well,
only
if you can
attacking
call it
change
that.
we could actually make.
Yeah.
Ford and Blackstenius, but
Yeah.
like one of the by the time the red card happened, Blackstenius was already on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
And that's what concerns
Yeah.
me a bit now. And I was saying this at the game on Saturday. Like, we all know what we're like. What Arsenal Football Club, what are we known for? A certain word that starts with the letter I. But I won't say it because in case it jinxes us. If Beth or Olivia Smith suddenly do pick up something, mate, we're absolutely screwed. Absolutely screwed. Because if all we've got to come on or to start a game is Caitlin Ford or Frida, like I think that's where we don't actually have a great squad. Because I think we struggle. Like I would never. If you asked me to bet on my house that Caitlin Ford would change a game against Chelsea next week, I'd say no, I'm not taking that risk. I just wouldn't. And it does frustrate me, and I just wish we would try different things. I don't like Russo in the 10. I will bang that drum for ages. I know people say Stina scores the important goals. Yeah, she probably does, but you don't see Bunny Shaw going at 10, do you, when they bring on someone? I'm not saying Russo's as good as Bunny Shaw, but that's what the comparison is, isn't it? Like, if you actually look at it, it's, well, Russo don't score as many goals as Bunny Shaw when she does, but yeah, I don't know. It just frustrates me, and as you can probably tell.
The thing is, as well, George, it's like, I hope you don't mind me
No.
cutting in. The thing is, as well, it's like throughout that whole entire game, and please correct me if I get the stats wrong, but it was like throughout that game, we had plenty of possession and 25 total shot attempts, but only managed a handful of them on target. And even when Man United went down to 10 women, we never actually seriously tested the United's defence. When you're down to that amount, that's where you go and you test the defence. You push at them. You keep going and going and going until eventually Man United's defence is like, oh, hello, you're right there. Like,
I will say though, we're properly like laying into them, but Man United are really known for having a good defence as well.
yeah.
I do think that needs to be mentioned, and I don't like giving respect to United for anything. Like we all know what it was, a London derby for them. They didn't have to travel far, so but they do defend well. The goalkeeper's really good, and that was what was annoying me as well. Putting crosses into the box all the way for the goalkeeper to catch it. It was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you're just playing into their hands, literally. Quick question. This will be a quick answer because I'm sure everyone's agreeing. If you have a choice at the end of the season, I think this is from Laura, and you have to give someone a new deal, is it Beth or Caitlin? Paul?
Beth.
Austin?
Beth.
Ravi?
Beth.
Right, that's the Arsenal board sorted. There you go, Claire and Jody. It's the decision.
That was easy.
And it sounds horrible, but you can't argue with that either, because I think Beth has probably been one of our best players recently, hasn't she, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken some time for her to come back from the injury, but yeah, now she's getting a good run in the team, and she's back to pretty much her best. So yeah, she's one of the best players out there, and she doesn't seem to give up either. A lot of them, you look at their body language, and when they've had a few goes, it's got to sort of that 55, 60-minute mark, and it's almost like, well, it's still 0-0. Well, we're just going to carry on doing the same thing, and they almost give up, some of them. But she does keep going. I mean, you just got to look. We had 63 touches in the Man United box to their 9. So we're getting in there. We're just not getting that final thing. And 219 successful passes in the final third for us to their 43. So we're getting it forward. The wingers, the likes of Smith and Mead, are getting it. We're just not converting it, and I think the frustration is going to start showing through the team. But we need a bigger team. Going back to what we've just been saying, I was obviously I'm still in block 2, and a lot of the players that are not able to play at the moment were stood next to the bench, and you're looking at them thinking, we've actually got a stronger injury list than we have bench.
Yeah.
And that's what's worrying. We have not got the depth to cover with these injuries and be able to have game changers coming on to break down that 0-0 and get the result.
Yeah. Ravi, just a quick question for you. Would you have been I know this is probably a bit out there. Would you have been tempted to keep Jessie Gow and not send her on loan as an option?
No, I probably would have sent her out on loan. I think at this point, like, game time is more important than like being a sort of like last resort. I think, she's gone to hopefully a loan which she's going to play week in, week out, and she's going to be able to develop much more quicker than if she just stayed on our bench for the whole remainder of the season. So I probably would have agreed with the decision to send her out on loan. But yeah, I think we just need to we need to see a short-term fix until the end of the season.
Yeah, I think I would be looking at that squad, and if obviously it's not FIFA, guys, it's not Championship Manager, so if there is football options and transfer opportunities out there in the January window, I would be looking. Personally, I think they should do a pre-contract for Georgia Stanway. I think
we've got to get her. Got to get her anyway.
A no-brainer, but this is Arsenal we're talking about. So we'll see what happens with that. Paul, also I think we need to probably talk about, because she's faced a lot of criticism as well, so I want to try and be a little bit more positive. Borba, for what she had to deal with, I thought she had quite a good game. I think the save she made in the first half was probably the best save she's made for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, she's come in at when she's needed. That was a fantastic save, tipped it over the bar. Obviously didn't have very much to do during that game, but so when she was called on, she was there. And she's come into us this season as a number 2 goalkeeper, not getting much game time, obviously in the first few months with Daphne being there, and on the form that Daphne was on last season, even with an injury, you're not going to displace her. So sitting on the bench again can be a bit frustrating, but she's come straight in. Not been perfect in the first couple of games, a little bit rusty, but yeah, I thought she, for what she had to do, she did the job on Saturday. The interesting thing will be going into the next few games, which I know we're going to talk about on another show, but historically we play our number 2 goalkeeper in the cup competitions. But if we haven't got Daphne available, is she going to stick with Borba, or is she going to risk somebody like Naomi Williams in the cups? That's the question.
I think she'll play Borba. I think they'll play Borba against Man United.
I think she will, but it is a question.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just want to say hi to Gav. Hope you're all right, mate. Hope you're all good. And this is the Champions of Europe show. I know you don't know what that is, but being a Chelsea women's fan, but it's fine. And we'll knock you out, so it's fine. Our WSL season might be rubbish, but we're different when it comes to the Champions League. And hey, Gary, as well. Hope you're good. Someone's saying hello to you, Austin.
Yeah, that's Idris, my guy Idris.
Okay, Idris. Thank you. What Idris Elba?
No, not Idris Elba. He comes onto the other watch-alongs and whatnot. He always says hello to me. So
that's not for Idris Elba.
No, it's like he's my biggest fan or something. I appreciate it.
He's your only fan, so I couldn't help it. It was there. But no, Ravi, a few people have been talking about Kelly Smith in the chat and what she's doing with the squad. What's your views on people's opinions on that? Do you think she's got some part to blame in some of this? Do you think she's a problem, or do you think that's a bit wide of the mark?
I think it's a bit wide of the mark. I think we've seen it across different levels of football. Like elite players often don't make elite coaches. Like what's that old thing with Thierry Henry coaching in the MLS, and he was telling his players to like do something, and to which all of them looked at him and went, "We're not Thierry Henry, and we can't do that." And like it's not, it's not Russo's fault that she's not Kelly Smith. And like I think Russo's game is completely different to the game that Smith played anyway. Russo tries to do a little bit of everything. She's got a bit of the like Harry Kane about her, where she's trying to drop deep, she's trying to do everything, she's trying to be an all-in-one forward, when a lot of the time we don't need that. Like we have little Mariona behind her to make all those passes and like be creative. We need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. We need a Bunny Shaw. We need like someone of that ilk that can actually consistently just throttle a defense and be like, well, it doesn't matter if you sit 10 people behind the ball, I will smash it in from 20 yards out.
Do you think Russo could do that though? She had the right
I
players
think she
around
can.
her.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think she can't do it. I just
No.
think it's not an intuitive thing for her to do.
Yeah.
It's very much a sort of like, she kind of wants to work it out wide. She wants to get, she wants to have a little like deft touch in the 6-yard box to score. I just think our wingers as well, they're not crossing specialists. They're not creative wingers. They're goal scoring wingers. And if the thing is for Russo to drop deep so that Frida and the wingers can go forwards, that's the directive that they're getting. And I just, whether it's right or wrong, or whether that's the plan or what's happening, I'm not too sure. But I think it'd be wide of the mark to blame Kelly Smith for the for the lack of like cutting edge that we've got. I think it's a system thing.
Could do with her playing, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, I just think like you put Leslie Russo, who's your best striker at the club, in the number 9 role, where she scored loads and loads of goals. You can't argue with the goals that she scored. I know people say that Stina Blackstenius has scored bigger goals, and maybe she has, but she hasn't consistently scored the amount of goals that Leslie Russo has for Man United or Arsenal or England. So,
yeah.
and before anyone
Well,
says, I know she's Swedish, Anthony Amy all over again. But what I mean, I do think on a whole that Leslie Russo is the number 9 striker for Arsenal. But I think she needs to have people around her. Like if we had people that crossed the ball into the box, then maybe Russo would be a bit more attacking. But it reminds me a bit what she does is what Kane used to do.
Yeah.
When he played for England, like he'd go back in midfield, and everyone would say, "Oh, what's he doing going into midfield?" Because he had to.
He does the same thing for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what the problem that Russo's coming up against. Because at the end of the day, like, look how many goals she scored. She was the joint top goal scorer in the WSL. I know people say Bunny Shaw was out for 2-3 months, whatever. Fine, but she was still out. But Russo still scored those goals. So I just think she just needs to. They need to play to Leslie Russo's strengths, and I don't think we do.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
Is that because we don't have the players? Probably more than actually the system. I think it's more like you said. We have goal scoring wingers. We don't have creative wingers.
Yeah,
personally.
and arguably our most creative player is too far deep to find Alessia Russo. And is it a coincidence that Russo's goals have dried up where Mariona has dropped further deeper? I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's an effect of what of how we're playing now. And I think if you are going to really commit to playing Mariona in the 8, you need to change from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3 with a holding midfielder to just allow like Mariona to do whatever she needs to do. Just get her further forward.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cool. We'll quickly go round and get Paul. Who was your player of the match?
I actually think Leah Williamson had a fantastic game. I was watching her quite a bit, and she was getting those long balls forward that I think we have missed in the first few months of the season. And how she gets that accuracy every time is just amazing. Problem is we just can't finish it off afterwards.
Yeah, I thought actually I did think Leah. I was saying to Dorian, I thought Leah Williamson played really, really well, and it was nice to see her playing like that again. At one stage, I thought she was playing in like the 10 role when we were trying to score, and it was a weird situation. She was playing there. Kimmy Little had a shot from outside the box, which she was unlucky on. But the usual suspects still couldn't create nothing. Austin, who's your player of the match?
I was going to wind you up and say Frida, but no.
No, I said player of the match, not waste of time of the match.
No, I have to agree. I have to agree with Paul. It was Leah. She actually looked like she wanted to be there. Really.
Cool. Ravi?
Leah would have been like for all the reasons that the guys have said, but I'll give it to Katie McCabe.
I really thought you was going to wind me up and say Caitlin Ford then.
No,
I was going to mate.
that would have been my last podcast. But yeah, I mean, I think solely for the fact that I think she had a good game. I think what really went a little bit under the radar was how she defended Mallard, because Mallard's given us a torrid time in previous games. Like she's done very well against us historically, and this time she was out wide rather than leading the attack. And I think, she's rapid, she's strong, she's a great finisher. Didn't really have much of a say in the game, and I think Russo did a really good. Not Russo. McCabe did a really good job in keeping her sort of like on the basically just like keeping her under the radar.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've called Katie McCabe out for a lot this season, but I thought on Saturday,
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah, it was one of her better games. And I think the last couple of games she's kind of stepped up a bit, if I'm honest. So you, like we always say on the show, we do criticise the players probably sometimes a bit too much, but when it's deserved, it's there. But it doesn't matter if it's your fan favourites or your Twitter favourites. If you've had a bad game, you've had a bad game, and you're going to get called out for that. Just a couple of comments in the chat. I think I don't know if James has been woke up or something.
He's just been fed.
No,
yeah. He's just been fed. He's a bit hangry.
Should have fed him earlier. Should have fed him earlier. It was saying that Daphne will have to fight for a spot. No, not happening, mate. Daphne is well better than Borba, and that's not a disrespect to Borba, but the levels, mate. That's like the levels there is like Harvester and Weatherspoons. It's big difference. And what other comments have we got towards the end, Paul? Because there's about loads there. Not going to ask you to read all them.
Yeah, loads between Dorian, James, and Darren.
That's a conversation you don't want to be in the middle of.
Yeah.
Been there.
Dorian says Mariona doesn't fit into a 4-4-2.
No, but 4-4-2 is like 1945 football, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Brexit ball.
Yeah. I think I agree with Ravi. I think a 4-3-3, like like a proper 4-3-3.
Hmm.
You have your whole or someone who breaks up the play. You don't necessarily need a holding midfielder to do that. Like if they've got eyes that work, so if they see the other team with the ball, you just take it off of them and break up the play. Like it's not rocket science. My only comparison I can say is to the men. Like when I watch Zubimendi, he's not a proper defensive midfielder. He's just there. He breaks up the play, and you go from there. And then if you had Mariona there, then you got to play a proper number 10. So, which I don't know. I just don't like Mario in the 8. I prefer number 10. But yeah. What? Is there any other comments?
Laura's just asked, is it something to be concerned about the fact Arsenal have had to trigger Mariona's 1-year contract clause? And also that apparently Katie watches the show.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get her on soon. Probably. Yeah. We'll have to do a later show because she'll break the 7 p.m. swearing thing as well, probably.
I didn't know about that, so I do apologise.
Yeah,
Fuck,
that's fine.
fuck.
There you go.
But there's Laura.
But Laura's allowed to do it because no one really understands her when she's got a cold. So with that Scottish accent, so especially if James says it well. But I will move on from that game. I want to talk about Renee's before we end the show. Renee's new deal, obviously. Ravi, she's got the new deal, which I think goes to 2020.
I think it's a 3-year deal.
Yeah, so 3-year deal. My maths ain't 2029. There you go.
Yeah.
Get the countdown start now. 3.
2 big
obviously,
ones and 5 little ones.
Yeah. Obviously, the Arsenal board have given Renee the deal just to really piss off half of the Arsenal fan base that don't want her there. Obviously, that's the reason that's happened. What's your views? Are you happy with that? Do you think now she has the opportunity to actually be backed as a manager?
Yeah. I think she's got a lot of credit in the bank for winning the Champions League. And to be fair, rightly so. We were not going to win it under Jonas. That was clear and obvious to almost everyone. And she did a really good job in galvanizing the squad to, actually get that over the line. And she's clearly likable amongst the players. I do think it's going to be interesting to see how she goes as a manager in terms of the rebuild that we need, because a lot of these players have been here for a long time. They're getting into their sort of like 30s and late 20s now. We need to start refreshing the team and preparing for the next generation of this squad. How she does that is anyone's question. Well, the question on everyone's mind, really, because I think she's done a good job in trying to integrate Katie Reid. Very unfortunate that she did her ACL. Very unfortunate that Michelle Adjemang did her ACL as well. So I think she really needs to be able to make the squad in her own image. I think there's a lot of players here who are even predate Jonas. They go towards the Joe Montemurro time. So we need to be able to really refresh this team properly, and she needs to be given the license to do that in her own image. But I do think I do understand everyone's complaints about her running of the club, but at the same point, it's just like she's only been here for what, a year now, if that. So it's not the time to make a snap judgment as to where we are currently in the league. We've been unfortunate with injuries. That much we all know. But I do think there is a bright future there for a bright young coach. I just think we just need to give her the opportunity, like we did with the Arteta with the men's team. Give her an opportunity and see how that lands.
I can't wait to be hated by everyone in the women's game as well. It'd be brilliant. To be honest, just upsetting everyone. It's what I live for, brother. To be honest. Also, Paul, your views on Renee. Obviously, we've seen Jodie Taylor got a promotion from walking win the dog. So I don't know what else she done, to be honest. But do you think that's going to help and keep us instead, like from an Arsenal point of view, when it comes to like obviously bringing new players in? Obviously, it's that support network with Claire Wheatley now as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the whole sort of team behind the scenes sort of thing, and now it's sort of settled a bit more that Renee has got that 3 years, and she's got the support behind her in the boardroom and in the back room. Then it'd be much easier when you're trying to attract those players. I mean, she's already started with the likes of Taylor Hines, Olivia Smith coming in. You sort of look at those and you think, that's the start of them coming in with possibly an eye on a couple of players leaving at the end of their contracts this summer, and it's not going to be done overnight. You look at what Arteta's done with the men's team. It took him 3 or 4 years to get to where they are now, and you can't just be going in saying, right, I want 15 players gone, I want 15 brand new players coming in, and you're back to square one again. They might be even worse. So I think now's the time that she can start looking at. She started the process. She started to put her stamp on the team and what sort of player she's looking for. I think it's obvious with Jenna going out on loan to Villa that Jenna wasn't a Renee signing. I think that was done before. That was possibly a Jonas sort of signing, even though he'd gone when she was finally signed. And I don't think Renee really rates her or has a place for her in her squad. So, that's why we've seen her go. And now, let's say she's got the long term. She's got the 3 years. She's got Jodie up there behind her as well, and she can really sort of make a go of it. And 3 years, that's 3 more Champions Leagues, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. So Darren is in reply to you. What that could take a few years. What do you say about Renee then? I think she deserves a bit more than that. She has just won the Champions League with a squad that's probably not that great, if we're honest, like consistently wise. We just have to back her, mate. At the end of the day, you could say that about anyone. So it takes time with any manager to build a squad. So what are you going to do if it don't work after a 12 months, 18 months? Get rid of her, and then it's a new process again. You can't. A certain other men's club does that, and look where they are. They've had to employ someone who got done for speeding and was on the Football League show last season. So, So I think there's the saying, trust the process. I don't know where we've had that before, but is probably what the mantra for Arsenal is. I think Renee has got a lot of credit, like Ravi said, in the bank, and I think she deserves she at least deserves the opportunity. Austin, what's your views on obviously Renee getting a new deal? We all know that there needs to be a rebuild. Do you think she's the one to take us forward with that?
Well, this is what you got to look at. It's like what Ravi said about the fact that she's only been here a year, so she obviously first joined January last year. That's what that. Well, yeah, that makes a year, idiot. But anyway, within that first period of her being there, you look at it and you go, okay, so she's just joined. We're not expecting much, but then what happens? Win the Champions League.
It's not for everyone, is it, Gav?
It's not for everyone to win the Champions League, but she's done that within that period. Then obviously she's got the remainder of that time that she has on her contract during then to carry it forward. You can't go and say after a year when she's just got the team to winning the Champions League, and then after a year go and say, okay, maybe she's not. You've got to give her a chance. Like, you could say like what you said, George, about how with we'll get like onto the men's side with Arteta. How many years has he had?
5.
5 years.
Six.
5,
Was it
6. Well, yeah,
6
six,
years?
6 years. 6 years he's had, and we're only getting to the point where we might be looking at something.
That's
Whereas,
6 years, like in 6 years, and then
Yeah.
he wins the quadruple. Like, I don't know what everyone's
Yeah.
worried about.
right, but that's the thing. What I'm trying to get at is he's had 6 years. Rene and I know people say there's a big difference between men and women's football. In my eyes, there ain't. It's both the same. It's football, like, but you've got to give Rene a chance. If you don't give Rene a chance, if you don't give Rene a chance, and you don't believe in her or believe that she's able to turn the team around, then she's not going to do it, because majority of managers, not only do they work with what they've got, they also work on fan support as well. If they can see they're getting the support from the fan base, then they're going to work 10 times harder to get the team turned around.
Yeah, I agree. Like, look at Thomas Frank. He's really worked really hard to get the Arsenal fans on board. Right?
Oh, he has, yeah, exactly. That
but-
Arsenal Cup he had, yeah.
Yeah, he's a silver member. That's why. But what my point is, going back to Rene, is Ravi. I'll finish up with you. Like, if you actually look at the overall picture, yes, we should be title challenging and probably winning WSL. But on paper, when Arsenal look at it, they're technically still in the battle to qualify for the Champions League. If we beat Leuven, which we should, let's not. You're in the quarterfinals of the Champions
We've done
League.
it once.
Oh, and it's at Leuven, so you should be winning that, the champions. So you're in the quarterfinals there. You're in the semi-finals of a cup competition, whether we think it's not what we want to win or what we want to win. So we're still technically in for, I'd say, three trophies and qualifying for the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's not the way that some people have made it. Like, is Rene's got us like 8th in the league? We're not in nothing. Like, I think you've got to sometimes have a little bit of perspective, haven't you?
I think you do, yeah. And I think I still put this season under a caveat of we had so many players go deep in the international tournaments in the summer. So, you know, a lot of those players came back very tired, to a point overworked. A lot of them played semi-injured. And, you know, I think their bodies are catching up to them. How many injuries have we had this season? You can almost write this season off as just like it's like a couple of seasons ago where we had about like 5 ACL injuries. And we were all kind of looking, going like, well, this is unheard of. And we finished third and just said, do you know what? Like,
Take it.
Fine. It is what it is. And I think we kind of need to do the same thing here. Like, we've had a lot of injuries this year. That shouldn't be the be all end all excuse. But I think, you know, like, we don't necessarily have the squads that she wants, or maybe that she trusts. So, you know, let's see how we go in the summer. Let's see the improvements that we can make, and let's start a foundation from anew. Like, this is her first full season in charge, and I think that's a really important thing to remember. I don't know if it's disappeared or not.
Disappeared. I think he's disappeared.
There he is. There he is.
Sorry about that. Someone
he's moved to
called
the right
me.
now.
So,
He's switched
someone,
wings. There he is.
yeah. Someone called me. So, I think, like you were saying, Ravi, I think like this season it's going to be after a write off again. But I think from next season, that's when you say, right, this is the start of the project to rebuild and go from there. Like, you can't, from after this season, that's when the excuses stop. I'm saying from Arsenal Football Club, not just from Rene.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing you've got to remember though is the pedigree that Arsenal have in the women's game. finishing third is an absolute minimum. We should not be finishing below that. Like, Champions League football is a must for this club, and especially if we want to convince players like Stanway to come in the summer. She's what, 27. She's not going to join a team that's not in the Champions League.
No.
And if we are going to be serious about like rebuilding and even potentially seeing her as a successor to Kim Little, you know, you need to look at that and be like, we have to finish in the Champions League places to convince her to join at the very minimum, and then start your succession planning then.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cool. We'll end the show there in case I get another call from hierarchy. Just want to say thank you for all the comments in the show. It's been brilliant. All your views are really welcome and welcome. We don't always all agree. Probably most of the time we don't agree, to be honest. But but it's always appreciated. I just want to say thank you to my guests, Austin. Thank you for coming on. Brilliant as always.
You're very welcome.
When you're doing your shows. Yeah, keep it up, and I'm sure you'll see Austin again. You're at Meadow Park on Sunday, aren't you? So
I am, if I can get the ticket back, because it's just deleted itself off my bloody emails.
there you go. Go on your deleted items, you'll be fine.
Darren, help.
Yeah, or don't. Oh, that's a shame. So yeah, we'll see you Sunday. Ravi, thank you as always. Absolutely brilliant to have your views and stuff.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me on.
Cool. You managed to sort all the technical stuff out though.
The piece is going to have to like be a whole day's job. That's my evening for today.
I've been there, done that, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah. Cool. And then Paul, thanks for your help as well. Like with the stats and helping with the show.
Yeah, no worries. Always a pleasure to help out.
Cool. And then thank you to Laura from behind the scenes, apart from a fuck.
We need to have that on a little like soundboard and just press it.
Yeah, I thought my voiceover went really bad then.
Austin can sort out the soundboard for us. He loves a soundboard.
No, not with it. No, he blasts it in everyone's ears. I'm not having that. I'll end up playing pinball because I'll be blind and deaf. So, yeah. So basically, thank you to everyone. We'll be back actually on Friday because we're going to preview. Who we got? Aston Villa. So we'll preview Aston Villa. So hopefully there'll be a couple more people that are back from illnesses, and you might have Angry James on. Something to call him. Not angry Ginge or Angry Kid, Angry James. So and so yeah, and then we'll have watch-alongs obviously over the weekend. So please remember, subscribe to all the channels that are mentioned on here, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Good night.